Okay, we are on air. This is yet another Avocado release meeting. We are releasing the version 44, and I will go straight to the Trello board so we can see what was done and what's still work in progress and what are the plans for the next sprint. Okay, so on items from top to bottom, we have fixed self-tests on Enterprise Linux 7 and enable checks on package builds. So some fixes and corrections in self-tests for Enterprise Linux. So now we have more clean and actually working process to run the self-tests on Enterprise Linux 7. This is another fix. Regression journal plugin cannot handle Unicode in test name. It was a one-line fix, and the intention here was to fix the journal plugin, making it to actually record the correct test name when it includes non-ESC2 characters in it. We have this bug fix, which is actually the bug is with C YAML, which is broken on some arcs, and the fix actually was to include in our documentation that it's broken and the ways that users can work around this issue. This is a feature. It was a feature request to preserve test environment for post-mortem debug. Right now, a job creates a temporary directory. This temporary directory will be used for the tests. And the directory, as it is temporary, it will be also destroyed after the job execution. But right now we have this new feature allowing users to actually keep the temporary directory that's created. And the way we discussed it to implement this feature was to actually create this temporary directory in an stable directory in the system instead of /tmp or /var/tmp. So we are now creating the temporary job directory inside the job results directory itself, and then we keep this directory. I mean, we do not destroy the directory after the job execution. And to do that, users have access to a new option, which is keep TMP. I will demonstrate it for you. Let me share a different screen here. Okay, so the standard execution, I will just put and see the test log in the stdout run plus stats.py. This is the full execution. The temporary directory was created in /var/mp. It's called Avocado and this random string. If you try to list this directory, it does not exist anymore because it was destroyed after the job execution. Now you simply pass the option keep tmp and turn it on. And with this option, the job temporary directory will be created inside the stable directory. In this case, it will be inside the job results directory, which is inside my home directory. And if you actually list this directory, it will contain the test result, the structure created for the test, and what was actually put inside this directory by the test itself as well, if anything. So it's a way to keep the structure so you can check it afterwards, after the job finishes. Let me share the Trello board again. Okay, we're here. Replay should respect job results there. We have this option called job results dir, which is used to point a directory in your system where the job results will be put on. And we also have the replay feature, which allows you to replay a given job. And before this version, before this feature, the replay feature was not looking inside this job results directory pointed by the user as a location to find for the source job to be replayed. We had before a different option, but right now we have this ready. So if you use the job results directory with the replay feature, you can actually identify the job by the job ID, and it will be searched inside this job results directory. So that's the relationship that we didn't have before, and it's working now. We had this bug fix. The string handler is sometimes registering logging and causing infinite recursion. It was reported by a user, and just few days after the original report, we also started hitting this issue in our Travis instance, and it's now fixed. So if you, after updating this version, still hit this infinite recursion again, please report it through GitHub or through the mailing list so we can take a look, but it's expected to work now.
But it was backported to 36 LTS, so if you download it or when we release the new version, it shouldn't be seen there. And we found a simple reproducer, so we made sure it's not happening again.
Yes, actually, the original report was made using the 36 LTS, and also we had another report after that, also in 36 LTS, so we backported this bug fix. Yes. Thank you, Lukasz. And this is the last feature we have for this version, which is test tags for filtering. I requested Lukasz to provide a quick demo on this. Lukasz, please.
Oh. Yep, I would like to, but my screen share stopped properly. So just quickly setting. Yep. Sorry about that. For some reason, it stopped. I can't. All right. So yeah, we have a new feature. If you remember, Avocado can list a directory. It can actually run a directory as all your tests.
Could you please just increase a little bit the font size?
I think this is the biggest I can.
Okay, okay, no problem. I can.
Oh, let me just run a different terminals. Sorry about that. I mean, I usually use share just share just the window and it somehow doesn't work after update. So like this.
Yeah, it's good now, thank you.
Which are here as an example tests. You can see that by running this, I would run all the tests which used a new option which is called filter by tags. And so I can give it a try. Let's just try to list all tests which are there. I mean, I haven't changed this part. What the part I changed is that I just filtered the fast tests. And you can see that it would only run the pass test, which is considered to be really fast test. Yeah, we also have another. Let me just see my cheat sheet. Yeah, we have, for example, another tag, or we identify another tag, which is, for example, failure expected. And we have like several other tests here, which are tagged as failure expected. So if I were to run them, they would probably fail. What I can do is I can combine those, and I can try running fast and failure expected tests, and you can see that there are actually none of them. But there are also requires C compiler, and you can see that there exists just one test which requires C compiler and is also failure expected. You can see it's just one test from this failure expected. Another thing you can do is you can actually say you want failure expected, but you don't want any require C compiler. You can do it by minus before the tag name. And you can see that it's actually, when you combine this and this, you get the full set. So basically you exclude tests which require C compiler. Another thing you can do is you can actually combine the tags as in a different manner, which is you can say filter by text fast and also filter by text failure expected. And the result is a logical OR, which means it includes the fast test and failure expected tests. So it's actually the opposite of using the comma. So this is actually it. Let me just show you how to define the tags. So when you take a look at past test py, you can see that over here we have Avocado docstring tag inside the class name, and you can add tags. You can add another tag like when I run. It's just the past test, fast and fast. Include anything else, then shows me that it doesn't exist. One more thing, quite important, is that when you take a look at the help again, there is something called ---- filter by text include empty, and what it means is that there are tests which does not have tags defined. For example, simple test or some test which doesn't include this Avocado tag, and by using this filter by text include empty, you basically change the behavior and you include those tests. So without this this option, only tests which valid tags are included. With this option, all tests or matching tests are included. That's actually it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If not, then I think we can continue.
Okay, thank you, Lukasz. Let me share my screen. Okay, that's all for the DOM items. We still have some stuff in work in progress. Some of them are long-term features that are getting step by step. One of them is the job API, still work in progress, but we had some more steps coming in this release. The same for the job time should be the walk log time. It's almost ready. It actually required a bunch of steps before, and it's now under review on GitHub, the final version for these. We had the proposed Avocado package to Fedora as a request. It's work in progress, but it's in fact already in Rawhide Fedora. So if you go to the Rawhide repository, you will see a package called Python 2 Avocado, and also Python 2 Avocado plugins. Also, the examples tests are here in Rawhide, so we expect the package to arrive in Fedora stable anytime soon. Still, we will keep our custom repositories, so we will still populate our repositories with the package that we build every release, at least for a while. Improve the generation of variant IDs. It's still work in progress. It's also a big feature that's under heavy development. We have a pull request with more steps in this direction already in place in GitHub. Also related, kind of related to that, the multiplexer implement internal filters, also work in progress. This bug, Unicode supporting test names, it triggered actually a bigger discussion that happened on Least, and still work in progress. It will probably be ready for the next release, but it's not like a really, let's say, high priority because it's not affecting many users. We don't have actually users reports for this one, but still it's going to be fixed for the next release probably. Multiple machine support for tests. We are in the RFC phase. It's expected to arrive in the devel list anytime soon, but still under development, under heavy work. And last, we have the increased self-test timeouts. We have some self-tests, Avocado self-tests that are time sensitive, and when we run those tests in environments that are busy or that have limited results, some tests are failing, and we also already improved a lot. In this talk, we had this pull request that is actually skipping some of those tests, but we already identified more tests that should be skipped in environments that are not really available, completely available, or that have hardware limitations. So it's partially fixed, but still we have some tests to evaluate and to decide if they are going to be executed in environments like Travis or not. Okay, that's all for the work in progress. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, so to the Sprint backlog, we have test data directory should include the variant ID. It's also related with the work that is in progress for the multiplex and for the variant. So it's something that will follow after that probably. Some Avocado test methods are and attributes are public. This was demoted from the bug status. It was considered a bug before, but we did some work on this, but it was demoted as a bug, but still needs some work. It will stay here for the next sprint, so we can work on this. Another bug, Avocado test create job results directory when run in unit test compatibility mode. So those directories are not expected to be here when we are not actually creating the structure for the Avocado job using the instrumented test. So this is something that should be fixed for the next release as well. Per job TMPD for direct use from tests, we have to agree on the approach here. We had some discussion going on lists, and as soon as we have a final design for these, it will be implemented probably also for the next release. Okay, guys, comments on the sprint backlog, please feel free to talk anything.
I have a quick question about the sprint maintenance tasks. Only one is listed as done out of 6.
Yes,
but I guess the sprint is going to is the sprint going to be declared a release?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's actually the missing part here is to check the items. I did it already. I ran the test plan. It's the result was passed. The release was considered ready to release in the last meeting. And yes, it's the missing part is to check the items here, like GitHub, yes, manual tests, quick talks review, organize and facilitate the next sprint review meeting. We are in the final step for this one, and the final step for this card is to update package on PIP. We can expect the release to be ready in a couple of more days, as soon as the packages are built and populated on PIP and on our repositories as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the final part here is to move the Trello lists. I will do that with my turn off, and also we have to prioritize the cards that are on short-term backlog and move them to the next sprint backlog. So I would like to ask you guys to prioritize the cards, move the cards to top, those that are more important for you, and also move to the sprint backlog that cards that you are expecting to see in the next release.
I think we are done because we already prioritized the bugs, etc. Right, during the our meeting, internal meeting. So I think we can
Yes.
just overhaul the stuff.
So I will move this bug for the sprint backlog, and do you want to move some additional card for here?
Yeah, I know we were asked to include the tab plugin by default, so I think it would be nice to do it, and it's actually low-hanging fruit. So let's do it right away. And for me, actually, I'll spend most of my time on the multiplexer. So hopefully those changes are invisible to you, but in the end, they should allow a cleaner interface and better scalability in the future.
Okay, there's this card that's considered issue. It's related to Avocado VT, but issue and bug are the same, right? So it should be moved to the sprint backlog as well.
Well, its issue is because it's issue on the GitHub. It's related just to.
Okay, let me put it here so we can investigate. Okay. Okay. As the sprint goes on, we can always reevaluate and include more items here as we are approaching the end of the year, and part of the team will be offline for some time during this period. So let's keep it like that for now, and then we can reevaluate as the time goes.
Do you guys have an estimation of when the next sprint release is going to happen?
Yeah, we talked about this, and as the default springtime is 3 weeks, it would be the Monday after the Christmas. If we postpone the release in 1 week, it will be Monday after the New Year's. It will probably be 1 week after these 2 weeks period for the end of the year. So the expected date for the next release, it's around January 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's more or less what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a longer release, but of course, a bunch of people are going to, most of you are going to take a break for Christmas or some PTO. So it makes sense to have a longer release, longer sprint.
Yeah, also expect some delays on issues on GitHub and emails. Yeah, basically, yeah. For example, I'm away for 2 weeks straight, so.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Do you guys have anything else that you'd like to discuss? Okay, that's it then. So you can expect the package to be built and the repositories to be populated in 1 or 2 days. Kleber is taking care of this. And other than that, see you next release.
Thank you. Bye. See you next year.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Bye-bye. The same to you.
Bye-bye.